What's up, everybody? It's the NFLys.
Yes, it is. Um, that was the whole intro.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone else wants anything. We got Tom here. We'll clearly have lots of fanfare. Big episode. The podcast is back after a hiatus. Wit, you're up next.
Hell yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it, man. It's the Niflies. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to see how the chips fell. If you're one of the two people that didn't vote, kind of hate you right now.
Yeah, fuck
Pretty
you.
lame. What is that? I think Jesse's one of them after he kept being like, I'm about to make my selections. This weekend, the selections are coming in. I didn't see the number go up at all from that point because I was checking to see when we were going to finish the votes. Never quite made it to 100% participation.
I wonder who the other team that didn't vote is.
You got beef.
Oh, yeah. That
Well, I guess we'll get into that later. We were just discussing Dan's gripes with a certain manager, but we'll get to that later. Without further ado, I guess let's go. First award,
let's do
starting at
it.
the beginning of the league year. Tom, I believe this is you presenting this one.
Yep. You got the best draft. No lasting dynasty can be built without excellence in drafting. The Nifly for best draft goes to the league member who got the most out of their picks in the 2025 rookie draft. Without further ado, here are the finalists. Zach Fedor with a nice haul. I don't know. Uh, He's starting off with Cam Ward, Ted McMillan, RJ Harvey, Bayshaw Tootin. Is that no, not Jatavian Sanders. Who
Shadur
is that?
Sanders.
Shadur Sanders
Shador, yeah.
and a bunch of
Good
other
pick.
guys. You got Jesse Meir, who had a collection of third rounders. He started out with Matthew Golden and Jackson Dart. One hit, one miss there. We got Kyle Williams, miss. Jalen Noel, fine pick. But the real gold was found with Tyler Shook, Woody Marks, and Harold Fannin all hitting in the third round. And then we got myself starting off with Genty and Hampton, you know, high picks there. Maybe they haven't panned out fully just yet. Then we grabbed Scadaboo in the second round. Tyler Warren was at the one third or second first pick of the second round. Ryan decided to exclude him just to make my draft look worse, I
My
guess.
fault.
But yeah, those are the main picks there. And the
Yeah.
winner of the first Nifly of 2026 goes to split vote. So we have Jesse and Zach tying for the Nifly. Now, do we want it to go down as a tie or should we have a majority vote right
Whoa.
I
now?
was gonna propose a vote to tie break. We've got 30.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess let's talk about it. Honestly, I feel bad. In the research I sent with the team breakdowns to the league to help everyone with their voting, I did include Warren, but I forgot to put him in the poll, which honestly might have tipped things away from Tom. I think that's a pretty solid draft. Four hits in the first 18 picks is pretty good stuff. But I guess we're picking between Zach and Jesse here. And it's tough. I mean, it really comes down to what you value here because Zach did his job in the beginning. His first four picks, I mean, Harvey's the worst value of the four, I guess I would say. And even that's not bad at the end of the first. Um, and Jesse, like you mentioned, kind of missed on Golden, missed on Williams. Noel, whatever, isn't great. But he got Dart, and I personally, I think value getting it done in the back. So I think my vote's gonna go Jesse.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for Jesse as well. The golden pick is a bit of a mar on his draft, but grabbing a tight end who looks like a top five, six dynasty tight end and Tyler Shook, who is the starter for now and looked pretty good while doing it in the third round, is pretty good stuff. I also think you could argue that Jackson Dart is probably a top five or five pick in a redraft of this
Yeah,
draft.
definitely.
Yeah, he's probably a top two or three pick in a redraft of this. With the 201 and three picks in the back half of the third round, Jesse added, I mean, like what you could call a QB one and two potentially in Dart and Shook, tight end one and Fannin, and running back value that you're stoked with at the 307 and Woody. So I think three for three will all give Jesse the NFLy.
Best draft, Jesse Meir. NFLy's yours. Congratulations. That takes us to the other side of the coin, the worst draft. I mean, failure to hit on these picks.
Wait,
Uh,
Ryan, can we
I
pause
was
for a
gonna
second?
say, I think we might have a special guest here to
whoa!
in person.
The winner of the first NFLy of 2026.
Best draft, Jesse Meir ties, but by a selection committee tiebreaker vote. Any comments from the champ?
Huge shout out to Jackson. I mean, what can I say except thank you? Thank you to my fans, to the Academy,
Yeah.
And to Mr. Trump.
uh, and Harold Fannin. Thank you so much. I
No one
will
more
accept
golden.
this award, but huge shout out to the other teams out there. Tommy, Zach, that was really close.
It was. It was a good heat. And it was obviously a very close vote. But congrats to you.
I did not vote because I did not want to alter the results.
Yeah. You were just thinking too long and hard about the other ones.
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
Thank you.
congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Good luck with the show.
thank you. Worst draft is going to go to the team that had the worst draft. And, part of that is value at the front, a failure to get it done in the back. Our finalists were myself with no very high picks, nothing in the top 38 or 37, I guess. Um, but outside of the LaQuint Allen bomb at 603, probably no one that's going to be contributing much to the team. Brandon Rouse, Caleb Johnson at the 206, obviously is a swing and a miss, it seems. And then not much value in the later rounds. Rob Henderson at the 106, and the same deal. Those were the three selection committee choices from yours truly, us three. But someone wrote in Nico as well. And his draft, let me pull it up really quick. His draft was um, Judkins at the 7, Higgins at the 14, Mason Taylor 303, Will Howard 507, and Taj Brooks 607. Not 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 the best, not the worst, but someone felt that it was the worst. Now, where did the league land? The NFLy for worst draft goes to Brennan Rouse. It was pretty decisive. I take second in this one, which I don't think is completely unfair. I'm kind of happy I didn't win it. I don't think I had many chances at anything too crazy. Um, but yeah, I think that Caleb Johnson miss kind of cemented it. I'm pretty sure he got my vote in this one. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, no arguments there. I think for me, it was in between Brendan and Rob, and I really don't hate. I think Travion Henderson's gonna have a good bounce back year, so I didn't really hate Rob's draft, and Caleb Johnson at the 206 is probably the biggest miss of the entire draft.
Yeah. Okay. Dan has us with best trade.
That's right. I'll speed us right to the candidates here. I fear time might become a factor, so we'll just get into our trades. We have Nico and Tom. Nico traded up to the 105 where he became took Tet McMillan. Tom traded down 2 spots to the 107, took Judkins, and added the 208 where he took Scat. Luke and Jesse, another trade up in the draft, shortly right after that one. Luke sent 201 and 302 to go get 108, which he took. Luke sends, yeah, which he took Emeka Egbuka with, Egbukatron, or Emekatron.
Megatron, I think. Yeah.
Yes, Emekatron. Uh, and then Brennan sends Derrick Henry to me for a 28 first and this year's 401. And the winner is the NFLy goes to Tom. Get him back here. It's Luke and Jesse.
Hey!
Another pretty decisive vote. No, yeah. Well done. Art comes through again.
It's the
Oh,
gift that keeps
Wow.
on giving. So you,
absolutely it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
you won the best trade because you got Dart for Egbuka and you got no Noel.
I've never believed in Egbuka.
We know.
1 year wonder.
I wanted
definitely
him
an
so
interesting
bad.
one.
That was very fortunate.
This one definitely got my vote. I just love it. One, I really like the value um, for both teams. And, Luke told us a story after drafting Egbuka about watching him, I think, live at the Big Ten championship the year, not immediately prior, but the year before he came out and said, like, I need to have this guy. And he made the move to do so. And Jesse was able to trade back and get his franchise quarterback. So I just really liked it for both guys as a game move and as for personal reasons.
And who knows, more deals might be coming between me and Luke in the future.
Wow. Is that a love bomb right there?
Could
Oh
be.
man. Yeah, I mean the other two
Up.
were good too, but
We got the draft tomorrow. That's a good reminder.
yeah, okay. Worst trade is Thomas.
Yep. We are right to it. I think we know the drill here. The finalists for the worst trade, meaning maybe the biggest trade rape of the season. So we got Nico sending Jared Goff, Jake Ferguson, and the pick that became Tyler Warren to me for the pick that became Judkins, which is funny because I think I initially traded that to Nico and then got traded back. So that 107 Judkins pick was in both of these. Then we have Ryan sending Lamar, Amon-Ra, Evan Ingram, and Najee Harris to myself for Jaden Daniels and two first rounders, I think.
Yes. It was your Jaden Daniels. Where are you here? There we go. Um Jaden Daniels, two firsts. Your second this year, Terrence Ferguson and Chim DK.
Wow. Shamir DK, that's a big pickup.
Yeah.
Next, we have Zach sending his 27 first, 27 second, and the 205 that became Jaden Higgins to Nico for.
Uh, hold on.
I thought you were gonna have these pulled up.
I didn't realize that they got cut off in the picture. So that was Zach sending his 27 first, 27 second. I should have gone to Zach's picture instead of Nico's. There's a lot less going on here. 27 first, 27 second, and Higgins to Nico, who sent the 105, which became Tet, and a 27 third.
Got it.
And then
And
we had the
lastly,
write-in.
a write-in, the Rob valuable 2027 first and 2 seconds for Travion. I don't know who's doing these write-ins, but I feel like it's Pat
I
Mormile.
was gonna
That's
say
a
my
good
money's on
write-in.
that.
That's a good one to toss in there.
And the NFLy goes to me and Ryan.
Damn it. Yeah, it
Ryan
wasn't
studying
close, was it?
Lamar. You know,
Um,
yeah, this was definitely a good one for me. I think more so because of how good Amon Ra was last year.
Definitely.
Like the Daniels Lamar, I think is maybe gotten a bit closer because Lamar didn't play great, but yeah, Amon Ra was a huge win for that trade.
Yeah, I'm not out on Daniels, and I did forget to include the second first I got in this poll, but I do think it still definitely has a shout. Um, I I was just scared of post Ben Johnson Amon-Ra. I rate him highly as a player, but I just thought that a guy that he just seemed a little bit dependent on the scheme, I thought. So I was a little afraid. I wanted to get out at what I thought was the peak. And I missed out on a pretty good year and probably selling much higher if that was where I wanted to go. But we'll see. I have our up and comer. So I think we're all familiar with what the award is, just the team that is positioning themselves best for a big jump through this year and going forward. Our finalists were Tom Griffin, Brennan Rouse, and Jesse Meir. And the NFLy goes to Tom Griffin. Also not particularly close. I will say in constructing this slideshow just a couple minutes ago, I realized that Tom won this last year. And I was trying to think of the NBA player that almost won back-to-back MIPs. Uh, and I forgot to look it up, and I can't remember who it is. In theory, it doesn't make a ton of sense, but I think going into last season, you were in a really good spot. You made a lot of good moves, and through this season, I guess the league, including myself, you got my vote. Thought you did a really good job building to take even another jump this
Yeah.
and
Um,
coming into this year.
I think another jump is the right way to put it. I think when he won it last year, he went from a team that everyone had kind of fallen asleep on, looked like it was into the dumps, into a team that had a wealth of assets and young guys and was pretty exciting. And then this year, I think Tom has positioned himself to turn that into a strong contender. Um, and then I do think that is another tangible jump. I think this one shouldn't have been as close as it was. I think it's a clear win for Tom.
Thanks,
I think
guys.
Brennan's doing a good job on the turnaround. We should shout him out.
Yeah.
He's got two firsts this year, two firsts in 27, and maybe two in 28. Let me confirm that really quick.
While you confirm that, I'll give a quick word.
He
Not
does.
super happy about this one, to be honest.
Wow.
You know, a NFLy's a great honor, but winning back-to-back up and comer awards is not where I wanted to be. I really saw myself as positioning into that best manager role. And I'm still on the ballot for that one. We'll see if that one pans out, but this is really not an award to me.
Wow. I thought it was humility, but it was actually just greed. Nice. Dan, you got stuck in the mud.
Stuck in the mud. Team that has been stuck in the mud. Let's hear our candidates. Ryan Linthorst, Zach Fedor, and Pat Mormile. And the NFLy goes to probably no surprises there. It's Pat Mormile. Maybe, wow, really no surprises there. A runaway. Sorry to say it, Pat. This may be another repeat trophy. I can't say for sure. I don't remember who won last year.
I think so.
So we have a back-to-back up-and-comer and a back-to-back stuck in the mud. And the really sad thing to say is stuck in the mud might not even be the apt way to put it. This was the first season, as far as I know, that we had an expansion team get worse in record.
Wow.
We're far enough out that I think both of these have kind of evolved past the expansion team look ideal. And they really are both just kind of in the mix with everybody now. But Pat went 5-10 last year, and he won 2 games this year, 2-13, finished as the 9 seed. Um, a team that when you looked at it 2 years ago, you said there's a lot of young talent here. Like that, this is a team that things can certainly keep trending up for. It's a team you'd look at and said it probably is trending up. And there just has not been a lot of positive movement since. Some unfortunate developments, a couple good things. I think we might dig into some of the specific moves here a little later. But Pat, I'm sorry to say, I'm afraid you're stuck in the mud.
That's what the league says. And, it is what Pat said himself. He didn't do himself any favors in the voting by mid-vote process saying, you can give me stuck in the mud. Um, so that may have had some inkling in the league's mind when they were making this decision. And yeah, they did not even think about Zach Fedor during the vote. So good for you, Zach.
Sweet. Let's get into it. Nickname of the year. Who had the best nickname for one of their players? We got Rob Cacciabato with one of his favorite politicians, Josh Downs. He went with the nickname JD Prance. Luke Witt for Quentin Johnston. Kusama bin Johnston. Jesse Meir, one of my personal favorites. Woody Marks. Marks Porpora. Luke Witt for Christian Watson. Tore Up. Nico Ellis for Riley Leonard. Catholic Dan Smith, BYU. Pat Mormile for Jalen Royals. I forget this one.
Buckingham Phallus.
Buckingham Palace. I think that's I think that's where my vote went, but
It's
let's
a
get
great collection of nicknames right there. A lot of strong contenders.
and the NFLy goes to Rob Cacciabato, JD France. Ooh, a well diversified pie. Runner up was Kusama bin Johnston, but we saw love for Buckingham Palace. We saw love for Marks Purpura, and we saw love for Riley Leonard, the Catholic Dan Smith.
Yeah, I love that this one was so spread out. I think I gave it to JD Prance. And going back and researching for this, for the selection pool, I didn't even remember half of these. I uh I think I voted JD Prance, but my runner-up was actually Tore Up. Those who might not get the reference, Luke was the Hardstone Psychos this year, and quite possibly the biggest song on that album was Tore Up by Don Toliver. And I can't think of a more apt player on the roster to coin Mr. Tore Up than the $100 million man, Christian Watson. So I'm a little upset that one didn't get love. It might have been a little too niche, but at least I appreciate you, Luke. You deserved the finalist spot.
It did go over my head.
Me as well.
Now I have our worst manager. I get all the negative ones. I didn't even mean to do that. Sometimes things just don't go your way. Finalists were Robert Cacciabato, Pat Mormile, myself, and Zach Fedor. I believe it was a write-in, but maybe not. Um,
It was a write-in.
it was
Another
a
Pat
write-in.
Mile right in.
Nope.
Oh no, that was a day. Oh
That
yeah.
one's a Dan Marks write-in.
The NFLy goes to Pat Mormile. Yikes.
Yeah.
This one was closer. Um, Now, with 8 voters, that means that 3 went to Pat, 2 went to each of myself and Rob, and 1 was the write-in Zach from Dan himself. I guess it makes sense. I think all of us belonged here to some extent. An argument could be made for all 4. But yeah, like Dan was saying earlier, it was a tough year for Pat, and there weren't a ton of moves that you would say like, okay, wow, this is about to change this team for the better. So there it fell.
Not a lot of meat on Pat's season when you look at it. His only trade was 402 for 501 and a 27 fourth. Um, when you look at the draft, he took Travis Hunter second overall and followed up with two big hits, Loveland 12th and Burden 15th. Um, but man, with what was a rookie class that I think has a lot of guys that you'd be pretty excited to have as a piece right now. Walking away with Hunter second is rough. A little bit of love, Michael Wilson off waivers. A good little piece, but I mean that's pretty much it for movement. And I think he's when you go 5 and 10, you're ninth in points for. I think you got to do some taking advantage of some moves, creating some value to kind of position yourself for the future. He's sitting with pretty much neutral capital in 2027. Um, Obviously, everyone's all hot and bothered for 27. He was in a position to be making moves for those picks before maybe everyone was all awake to it, and he just did not capitalize where I think he might have.
Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder if the A-Chan sale is coming soon. I
Certainly.
think that would be the only way to get some really meaningful stuff t from this team in 20, turn it into 27 capital.
Yeah, I feel a little bad here. I think we're beating the dead horse a bit. I think Patrick's getting punished for some of his previous moves. I think the Hunter pick was a bad one, but I think he made up for it pretty well with Burden and Loveland. Um, Obviously had the Michael Wilson pick. He was not my pick for worst manager. I think I had gone. I was in between Rob and Ryan. No disrespect, Ryan, but I
Okay.
didn't think Pat did enough that was negative to warrant this selection. So if it means anything to you more, Mile, you were not my selection.
Yeah. Running out of time here, so we will go to our commissioner for the best manager.
Best manager, you could call it the NFLy MVP or the No Fun League MVP. Second only to a first place trophy, really. Um, who had the best year? Our candidates are Luke Witt, Zach Fedor, and Thomas Griffin. And our winner is our winner. It's Luke Wittenborn. Um, he seems to have beaten out Thomas Griffin by about a 2-1 margin, give or take a little bit, I guess. Take a little
Five
bit
to three.
or give a little bit, yeah. When you look at the moves, it's nothing jaw-dropping, but he clearly made the right moves to push himself across. Started off the year by trading Chris Carson. Love that for the league. We love a nice, healthy Chris Carson trade.
Neck crank.
Then followed that up with our trade of the year, moving Dart in the 302 for Egbuka, a piece who helped him this year, got the season started off hot and is likely to be a key contributor moving forward. Um, Took Kyle Manungai at the 402, somebody who, I mean, people are excited about moving forward, somebody who chipped in a little bit of value late last year. I don't know how much the Rutgers Smasher affect Luke's playoff run, but I mean, he's definitely a good piece there. And end of the day, he led the league in points for, won a chip, and should come on
Yeah.
this podcast.
This is the second year in a row, and we've only had 2 years of NFLys. So every year of NFLys, best manager has gone to our champion. Last year it was me. And I think that makes a ton of sense. You know, you clearly made the right moves to get your team a ring. I do think Tom obviously deserves some love. We talked about him taking that second jump. And I do think Zach belonged here. I get the shout for worst manager. We like to encourage activity, but he was 6-9 heading into off 2024, seventh in points for, and it took just the one trade and then the draft class that was a draft of the year tied for first. to get him to the second place and 12-3 last year. So he was kind of cooking.
Yep, big ups for Zach. I'll give a quick 5 seconds here.
Make it
I
five
did
seconds.
okay. I did vote for Luke. He had an incredible year. Congrats to him. I think the difference between a guy like him and me is Luke is just a leader of men, and he can lead that team to a title. And I'm yet to do that. So consider myself fraud of the year.
He
All
joins
right.
a club.
Great season, boys. We'll see y'all at the draft tomorrow. Bless.